At sea, moving a 7,300-ton monster like the USS New Mexico is no easy task. But like the M1A1, the sub uses a similar propulsion concept taken from aviation. While exact details of the design are classified, the performance is nothing short of amazing.
We can generate 40,000 horsepower, all powered by one nuclear reactor. How fast exactly we can go is certainly classified, but we go greater than 20 knots.
Stationed in the belly of the New Mexico, a specialized team of sailors operates the sub's unique propulsion system, one that's different from the prop and screw of previous generations of underwater craft.
We have a little bit different feature and layout back there that allows us to generate and focus that thrust a little bit better.
The New Mexico's jet propulsor takes in water at the front and shoots it out the back. This concentrated stream of water allows for incredible speeds while remaining virtually silent.
The jet propulsor itself is a little bit quieter because you don't have as much cavitation that can be induced by that propulsor. Cavitation is the rapid formation and collapsing of bubbles based on a pressure change. Well, that bubble creates a lot of noise, and so noise is certainly undesirable for us.
In the harsh light of a barren desert, a massive offensive vehicle like the M1A1 could be a highly visible and tempting target. But Tank Commander Teague Gibbs also has a number of camouflaging technologies at his disposal, starting with the engine's audio signature.
Some people call it the whispering death on the battlefield. So we have very high capability of destroying things while keeping our sound signature as low as possible. We have a turbojet engine inside of the tank, so it's a lot quieter.
But a machine this size needs more than just a different audio signature to keep it from being detected.
The M1A1 is very boxy and it has a lot of distinct curves, which you don't want out on the battlefield.
Once Sergeant Gibbs determines that the tank is under surveillance by the enemy, he can order the M1 to go stationary underneath a high-tech canopy.
This bag right here is actually a camouflage radar scattering net.
When rolling into a defensive position, the crew of the M1 can cover the tank with a camouflage radar scattering net that obscures the sharp angles of the tank's exterior, making the tank resemble a natural piece of the landscape to overflying or ground-based radar.
So we can throw up cami nets and things like that over top to where if you're a click or two out, then you can't even tell that it is a tank.
Like the submarine, Sergeant Gibbs has countermeasures he can use as a last resort to duck out of harm's way.
There are 16 smoke grenades on the tank on top of the turret. And once we get into a situation where we need to either get out of that area or we need to turn around without the enemy seeing us, I can go ahead and launch 16 or 8. And once they hit, it sets up a smoke screen, and then we can turn around and get out of there.
But retreat is often not an option. Completing the mission means moving in and finishing the fight. Once the target's range has been established, the USS New Mexico has two main forms of ordnance to take it out.
This is a torpedo room on board. It's in the bottommost portion of the ship all the way forward and is used for stowing torpedoes, tomahawks.
In the 1970s, the Navy began using subsonic or underwater cruise missiles. To get those missiles to the surface, the New Mexico is equipped with 12 vertical launch doors on the forward part of the boat.
We have the capability of firing that Tomahawk missile when we're underwater. We have hatches that come open and allows us to shoot it. It basically will ride up in a bubble of air until it gets to the surface as the air expands around the missile so that when it gets to the surface and is shot, that it separates the booster, transitions to cruise, and puts the ordnance where it needs to go.
For surface-based threats, Bo and the crew of the New Mexico rely on what subs are best known for: torpedoes. But they work differently than you might think. Rather than aiming to hit the hull of a surface ship, Bo attempts to detonate the torpedo underneath its midsection, causing the split-second formation of a huge air pocket that will destroy the ship's structural integrity.
Now that ship has nothing to rest on except for an air pocket, which breaks the back of the ship and will actually cause it to sink.